So, one of the things that I did here was I jumped in my car and headed all the way from Chicago back to my hometown of Detroit, Michigan, because my childhood Boy Scout summer camp it's been struggling a little bit lately, and I wanted to be able to help out. So the place I'm talking about is actually DeBarre Scout Ranch. I had a lot of good memories here, and I was really excited about coming back. It kind of brings you back to the good old days when you were a kid and carefree and didn't have any worries and wondering if I paid my property tax bill. However, like many things from our childhood, like your corded phone and VHS player, and maybe your fandom of Pepsi Free, a lot of things start to disappear on you, and the DeBarre Scout Ranch is no different. Although it's still up and running, obviously it's kind of running into some hard times here, and the big one is just the decline in attendance, and a big part of that is just the lower participation rates in the Boy Scouts. But one of the things that they had, and was kind of good for me too, was a fun little evening called like the Steak and Shakedown, and basically this is the third year they've done it. But what they will do is they will just barbecue some steaks. You'll have a nice dinner in the mess hall. They'll kind of give you an update of what's going on with the camp. And the money that is raised from that dinner will then be deployed to something that the attendees vote on. So you get to make a little bit of a contribution. It's kind of a nice little windfall for the camp that helps get them some of the equipment or some of the funding that they need. There weren't a lot of people there. I wish there were more. There was certainly extra space for people, but it's $100 to go to this dinner. There's no alcohol allowed on the camp, but they did start out with a nice salad and some bread, and then they had the steaks and a baked potato with it, as well as some green beans, and then they had a nice like chocolate and cherry cake as well, and then all the soda and drinks and pop that you wanted. But the nice thing about it was while you were having dinner, they were doing some presentations on some of the things that they really needed. And they were kind of talking about everything from laser levels so that they could repair the rafters on some of the buildings here, to horse paths, to what ended up getting approved was the Wrangler helmets. So that's the option that got the most votes and ended up getting funded that evening, which is really nice. Then they had some door prizes, and so some people walked away with DeBarre mugs like this guy. And some people want a fishing pole and some other things like that. So it was a really nice evening. All in all, it was only a couple hours long, but it was a good way to kind of get back to the camp. A lot of us are just older. We're not going to do the camping itself, but we wanted to see the camp. So obviously something like that helps them a little bit, but I hope a lot of the people that enjoyed a lot of the childhood experiences there, like I did, and even as a counselor, would, be able to come back to something like this. It's kind of an easy way to actually have a good time yourself, relive those memories over the course of a few hours. So obviously, if you want to help out DeBarre, I'm sure they would be happy to take your money if you just want to send in a check or make a donation. But obviously, a fundraiser dinner like this takes a little effort to put on, but they seem to really appreciate it. And so I'm hoping to get back next year and continue to make a tradition out of this. So if you're in the Michigan area and want to check out DeBarre, you don't have to be a scouter anymore to experience it. I'll put a link to that in the description below. And hopefully we can preserve some more of these places so that the future generations can have the childhoods that we had as well. Peter Von Pan, out.